Can I get a round of applause for the people in the back? I used to be one of you. I think most people have a single metric for whether or not they feel successful that's more important than everything else. It could be a salary range, it could be a title, it could be the approval of a person or a group of people. And I have the one single metric, but it varies depending on which celebrity I've read about most recently. Because for me, if that person is older than me, then I am full of potential. If that person is younger than me, I am full of wasted potential. I don't know exactly when this started happening to me, this need to Google every celebrity's birthday. But I think it might have something to do with being the oldest child, and always feeling like the guinea pig, and the one that just has to try it out until your parents figure out parenting for real with the next one. And if your mom, hypothetically emails you years later and says, your sister got a higher math SAT score than you did. Well, if I had known that was the score I was supposed to get, Mom, I would have gotten it. You gotta tell me the standard first. So I've always appreciated being the youngest one in the room. I feel like all of the pressure is off. And I don't know why, but sometimes, now that I'm out of college and we're not all freshmen, then all sophomores, and all juniors, and all seniors, and all graduating at the same time, except for you, Lori. You graduated a semester early. No one could have predicted that. Now it gets a little hazier. Now I have to figure out what is my standard. What do I need to make sure that I have proven by a certain point? And when I was 26, I was like, okay, this is when Hemingway wrote The Sun Also Rises. And when I was 26, I wrote 3.5 chapters of the first draft of my first novel. And the only way that you can keep from spiraling into deep, deep depression when you use this metric is to keep moving the goalposts. So Hemingway was not for me. But when Taylor Swift came out with that 1989 album, I was like, yes, it's our time. Year of the Snake, let's do this. This is when I do the thing. I did not figure out what the thing was. But, Taylor Swift's latest album wasn't that great, so she peaked too early. That's another thing that you tell yourself when someone younger than you is successful. And when Adele came out with that album titled 25, when I was 26 and she was 27, I watched her on TV very methodically, and I turned to the half bottle of rosé that was left, and I said, technically, within a year, I could also have 16 Grammys and a baby. But after 26, I turned 27, and I became really infatuated with this thing called the 27 Club. Anybody? Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, all of these people who only got to 27, but they had this whole legacy. And I was like, this is the goal, not the dying part. I tried to have a 27 Club birthday party. My friends were like, no, it's too morbid. You can't do that. And then I was 28, and I was like, I didn't make it. Now I'm just getting old. And side note, I turned 29 a couple weeks ago, so it gets better. But there was a point when I heard about another member who joined the 27 Club not long before I turned 28. His name was Anton Yelkin. He played that nerdy, kind of cute, weird accent guy in the Star Trek movies, one of which was released posthumously after he was smashed by his own Jeep. And this whole time, I've always wanted to know, how much time do I have left to lose the weight before my body is old enough that it just doesn't really matter and I shouldn't try? How much time do I have left? I have until November to make it in the Forbes 30 under 30. That is still a possibility. I don't know what for. Probably something social media related. I think it can happen. But this whole time I'd been thinking, how much time do I have left before it's all downhill, right? Before I've lost that youngness, that opportunity to be the best at the appropriate time. But Anton didn't know how much time he had left either. And none of us do. So here's to 29. Thank you.